Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. I had a whole video for you guys and realized almost all the way through that my mic wasn't on. I felt like the opposite of Prince. All right. So, happy Portal Day. Happy New Year. Although we all know that the new year doesn't really start until end of March, April, but we do have a portal day. So we're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk about this stellium energy that we have in Capricorn. We have a Capricorny stellium. Mercury and Venus have moved into Capricorn, and then before the end of the week is up. Is it on? Oh my gosh, I'm all paranoid about it now. But before the end of the week, not the end of the month, before the end of the week, we'll have Mars in Capricorn as well. So it's a very, very grounded, serious type energy that's focused on long-term planning, discipline, um, work, goals, what else? Ambition, structure, think, all of the things associated with Capricorn and also Saturn. So, um, again, a huge focus on career and practical progress and focus in general. So, it's a good time for that, but also think long-term planning. And then we also have Venus, our planet of love and beauty in Capricorn, and then also Mercury, our planet of communication in Capricorn. So and then the sun, of course, and then later Mars. All right, so but let's talk about this portal. We actually have several portals this month. um on the 10th, on the 11th, on the 19th, the 28th. Uh, but let's talk about today. So, the energy of one amplified. So, well, first off, the energy of a portal is think of the one energy, the energy of one being amplified, and really an emphasis on like something that would normally take weeks to process and integrate is condensed. It's like a compression point in time. So when you think of the energy of one, you think identity and self. So things having to do with yourself. This energy um, really rewards embodiment. So think simplicity though. Um, it think uh what did I write down? Think intention. That's what I was trying to remember. Why did I go blank? Intention over intensity. So it's not the level of intensity of your emotion. It's the clarity of your intention. So keep that in mind. It's a good time to initiate something, and again, keep it simple. Don't over ritualize it. Um, think one thing you want to embody and take action toward it, and or a declaration toward it or something, and then do it. And it doesn't have to be finished. It's just starting it. It's initiations. Also identity. So it's a good time to collapse um, old thought patterns related to your identity, detach from outdated roles, survival identities, or self imposed definitions and roles or boxes that you've placed yourself in. Just get rid of all of that. Um, it's a good time to consciously create. If you think about one, it's about creating. It's about new beginnings and again initiations, conscious choice, new timelines, timeline shifting, identity shifting. So, and again, it's amplification. This energy is it's about alignment and amplification and access. So something that would take longer is less time. So you really want to be careful right now of your thoughts, what um, your relation to your power, how you're giving your power away, because again, it's about consciously creating, consciously choosing. You really want to use this time to your advantage. Um, make your intention, so this energy makes your intentions louder and clearer. um, uh, you may notice that there's less psychic noise or interference. So clear thinking, um, where you'll be able to hear your guidance a little bit clearer. So because you have less interference, you may have an aha moment, or something may settle in your nervous system, or just click into place as a knowing, and um, um, less indecision. Clear guidance, less psychic noise, less emotional distortion, which equals clarity, sudden realizations. And it's not dramatic, it's just precise. So um, think think seed energy. The one is also seed energy that you can plant seeds throughout the whole year. So think of it like that. One thing I did, one thing I did today, without even really realizing it, because I kind of just, again, it's not over. This energy isn't about overthinking or over planning or over ritualizing. It's simple, and so I didn't spend a whole lot of time curating this message. It was like, I'm going to record and this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the energy of the portal. So I spent very little time preparing, and as you could see, no makeup, pajamas. I'm recording a little bit later in the evening than I normally would, but it was very important to me to record, because it was an aha moment, that I decided not to overthink and just do it. So it's not going to be a very long message either, because it's pretty short, simple, and to the point. And it's almost over, so you want to get to it. Be conscious, or consciously do something to embody the energy. All right, so watch how you treat yourself. Pay attention to how you're treating yourself, what your inner dialogue is, what you tolerate, um, how you relate to, and again, how you relate to your power, and what you're giving your power away to. All right, so uh, what did I do? So let me give you an example of what I did. People often set, their New Year's resolutions, and at the beginning of the year, it's kind of cliche to, everyone wants to get fit, and they set these New Year's resolutions that they're all going to the gym. Well, I guess I'm no different, because I'm no longer my an example that I chose was to um, decide to um, identify with somebody who's fit. So I'm fit now. I'm fit. So what I did to embody that energy of being a person who's fit is I worked out for 20 minutes. And also I'm incorporating, which I've done in the past. I've incorporated micro habits in task stacking, where if I'm waiting for the water to boil, I'll do some squats, or if I'm waiting for the microwave to go off, I'll do some squats or some island push-ups, which I learned from a friend. But I haven't been consistent. I haven't been consistent with it. So I picked that back up, and the my declaration is I'm going to be consistent with that. I'm going to be consistent with micro habits that support me being a person who's fit. So it doesn't have to be loud, or it's not something that has to be elaborate either, and you don't expect to see changes overnight. It's something that's going to happen quietly and internally, and you'll start to see shifts in a couple of weeks. So even though the energy is amplified and you can use it to your advantage to make these quick changes, expect to see the changes, in a couple of weeks. All right. So choose one intention, choose one identity upgrade, and then take one aligned action, even if it's small. All right. So I gave you an example of something that I did, but another example would be to declare a boundary, and then start something meaningful and let go of a thought pattern without processing it, without overthinking it. Just decide to let it go. All right. And what else did I write down for us? What else do I have in here? Make a declaration. I no longer identify with, kind of like what I did. I no longer identify with fill in the blank. You can insert whatever you want there. What else? So seed energy for the entire year. Whatever else you consciously choose to embody today tends to echo that. So keep that in mind. It's a great time to speak it out loud, write it down, journal, visualize it, and meditate. But again, it's clarity and clarity of your intention over the intensity of your emotions. So just keep that in mind. All right. So now that I got that out of the way, and also remember, again, there's several portal days throughout this month, which is really rare. And how we get that. So if you think of, okay, so today's the 1st, January 1st, so that's 1-1, and then 2026 reduces to a 1, so it's 1-1-1. And then on the 10th, we'll have another one, we'll have another portal day, and then we'll have an 11-11 portal day on the 11th. So use this month to your advantage to really identity shift and collapse timelines and plant those seeds to embody your higher self. Again, this energy rewards embodiment. So with that being said, let's pull some tarot for you guys. I want to pull from the Star Child Tarot. And then I also want to pull from, since it is a portal day, I want to pull from Gateway of Light Activation. And then I may end you with a Work Your Light Oracle. All right, but first, tarot. All right. I can't believe I had a whole video before this with no audio. And it was like, I was almost done, and I'm like, something just said, look down. And I looked down and I didn't see the little green bubble. Oh, it's tragic. It was only like 25 minutes or something like that, but still. All right, Spirit, what guidance do we have for the collective, for their higher good, their highest good of all? Let's see what comes out. This deck is kind of hard to shuffle because it's big. It's very pretty though. It has the gold edges too. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. We have here Six of Swords. Six of Swords came out. Eight of Pentacles, that's fitting. And Three of Pentacles. Okay. So this is all very fitting. Six of Swords came out first. Six of Swords is moving away towards something mentally. So this really supports letting something go without processing it, without overthinking it, without over identifying with it. This is, swords has to do with the mental space, the mentality. So, and then six, walking away from something, walking toward something. So, walking toward calmer waters and um, again, not overthinking, getting out of that mental space of overthinking. And then with our eight of this in this deck, it's eight of crystals, which is equivalent to pentacles. So eight of crystals in here is our card of Virgo. It's card of working and self mastery. Really has to do with self mastery and work. So again, with the energy of one, and also with it's really aligned with this Capricorn energy as well. With you know it being about discipline and work. It's also that's what this is about: self discipline and um, picking a direction and working toward it and really seeing that it's a good way to see that work towards something and really see the seeds of that come to fruition. And then the three of crystals, the three, which is equivalent to the three of pentacles, is about co-creating co-creation and collaboration. So it us coming out of the year of the snake and into the year of the fire horse and year 10, it's it really is about fresh new beginnings and um, co-creation and consciously creating what we want in our lives, and not just letting life happen to us, but actually planting the seeds we want to plant in a creative way. We're naturally creators by nature, by our divine right in nature. We're constantly creating our reality, whether we know it or not. So why not consciously choose to do that? And most of us are waking up to that reality and choosing to do that. A lot of people are changing careers that they've been in for decades. I mean, I have a friend who's an attorney who is also a DJ. It's like these and same thing with I was reading something the other day about a doctor, going and doing something entirely different. Oh, I'm reading a book actually. This my first book of the year, uh Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Miss, PhD. She's actually she's a PhD, but it's about the 7 stages of power and healing. She she's an intuitive healer though. She's an intuitive doctor, but um how she got into that is really interesting. But anyway, I digress. A lot of people are finding themselves unsatisfied and unfulfilled in these careers that they may have gone years and years going to school for, and it's no longer fulfilling because they're trading so much time for money, and it's no longer fulfilling. And there's a mismatched an imbalance of work-life balance and fulfillment. So a lot of people are waking up to that reality and choosing to take their power back and choose differently, and recognizing that they can choose differently, even if they did spend decades doing one thing and now deciding to do another. So that's just an example. But Three of Pentacles, Three of Crystals is about that co-creation and collaboration, creative collaboration. This one comes out a lot. I'm not surprised that this one came out, this Eight of Crystals, with it being so many energies, so many planetary energies in Capricorn. Our planet, our the sign of work and discipline, and then card of Virgo, which is also about work and self mastery. And, you know, the energy of one is about the self and identity. If you think about the first house has to do with identity. It's ruled by Aries. And Aries, even though we're in Capricorn season, the energy is very Aries, with that being the first sign in the zodiac and the initiatory. It's like act first type energy, or it's very taking charge and taking the initiative. So that's quite fitting. What do we have at the bottom? Oh, and then we have, look at here, the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Of course, the bottom of the deck is energies, you know, hidden, come. In this case, I'd say energies to come, since this is very Aquarian. And of course, towards the end of the month, we'll be in Aquarius season. King of Swords is logical and clear thinking, methodical, strategic. So it is a good time to strategize and plan, long-term planning, what you want to do, what you want to create. All right, so that's our tarot. We're doing great on time. I can't believe we're already 21 minutes in now. I'm trying to make these videos shorter, y'all. I can't believe my last video was an hour. Long-winded. Somebody's long-winded. All right. Next, we're going to pull from Gateway of Light Activation. See what energies we have working for us there. All right, Spirit. What guidance do we have for the collective for their highest good? I won't try to come out, but it did not. Okay, cool. It's kind of a lot. I'll just take 2, and then whatever's at the bottom of the deck. Also learning. Okay, so we've got Karmic Board Clearing, which is totally aligned, you know, coming out of the year of the snake and into a year 10. It's like brand new, fresh start. Energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. Rewrite your story. We're going to read it, but isn't that so aligned with the one energy? All right, these ones don't have numbers, but they are alphabetical order. Okay. Cool. Karmic board clearing. If I know my numbers, there we go. I mean, letters. Hopefully my tongue's not still yellow. I had a yellow tongue because I had some bone broth with turmeric. Okay. Can you see it? Can you see it? All right. Energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. The Karmic Board is a congregation of spiritual beings dedicated to implementing the law of cause and effect. They have the capacity to help us overcome any karmic blockages that are affecting us. We can call on them to bring healing into our energy field and to clear away any patterns that are standing in the way of our experience of love and the expression of our life purpose. Karmic blockages are often misunderstood. Many people think that a blockage is punishment. Interesting too, this is on page 100, which is a 1. A punishment for their bad choices or wrongful behavior, but it's not. Source is always on our side. It wants us to have a positive experience here on earth, but it also honors our choices and experiences, and sometimes these result in karmic blockages. It's important to know that many of these blockages were actually created by innocent choices. For example, continually letting someone's bad behavior or mistreatment of us slide because we really wanted to see the good in them, or choosing not to let love in because there was a part of us that was scared of the unknown. Oh. Connect Imagine yourself surrounded by golden light and say, "Thank you, karmic board, for clearing all blockages, debts, unfinished patterns, experiences, psychic pain, or any other barriers that could be standing in the way of my experience of love." Your message: if you are being overwhelmed by a traumatic memory or a painful event, know it's because this old energy is no longer serving you and that your spirit is calling for it to be released. Let this card come to you at a time when you are ready to surrender old ways of being and old stories. Know that receiving this message means your energetic self has been taken to the karmic board during sleep or meditation so that your light body can be cleared of all karmic blockages and stories. All fears, phobias, challenges with partners and relationships, and feelings of being misunderstood are being released now. You're ready to move forward. That's so aligned with that was the whole purpose of the year of the snake, in order to, shed these old skins and release this karma, the stories that we're no longer aligned with or no longer needing to hold on to because it doesn't belong to us or because it's no need. They're outdated. A lot of it has to do with old conditioning and programming and um, karmic trauma that we were either born into or um, how we were raised, by choice. We chose our life paths coming in here. So these were all things that all challenges that we chose coming in ways to overcome for our own evolution, our own spiritual development. So um, somewhere along the line, though, we've forgotten who we are, and this karmic debris has been built up and built up and built up, and um, it was never supposed to be that way. So I'm glad this card came out because um, well, like it said, well, for one, it's not really about right and wrong or good and bad. When we have these blockages, in fact, I did a video a while back called, I want to say, the 7 deadly sins in relation to the 7 chakras, and it having to do with different blockages in the chakras and how it shows up and manifests as um, behavior and um, fragmented fragmentation and distortion. And it's not really, again, it's not about evil or good and bad, but it is about cause and effect, and your choices having consequences. It's just the law of the universe. So it's not being punished for being bad or doing bad things. It's just cause and effect. So, and then also the frequency scale, there's creation and destruction. So the lower you are on the frequency scale, the closer you are to destruction. And also there is such thing as evil. And even though we aren't, it's not about good or bad, but when when you're vibrating on a lower vibrational frequency, or entertaining um, or engaging in some of these lower vibrational things, you open yourself up to um, attachments, things that can attach to you that aren't so good and evil, and may have some sort of influence or sway that have access to you. So that's a whole nother video though. But if you haven't seen that video that I did about the 7 chakras, the 7 deadly sins in relation to the 7 chakras, it's really not about 7 deadly sins. If you think of sins being synonymous with imbalances and blockages, kind of like what this is talking about. Um, and shadow. If you think of it as being synonymous with shadow, and then it's worth checking out. All right, so that's good to know that we have karmic board clearing. So consciously think about that and think about what you're holding on to that you don't need to hold on to, or again, like we mentioned in our message earlier, outdated roles and beliefs that you don't have to hold yourself to. This is a perfect time and energy to release that now. All right, so what else? Shambhala initiations. Let's see, Shambhala initiations. I talk too much. My throat's going. Where is it? Shambhala. Do I know my letter? Do I know my letters? There it is. All right, let me drink some water. I didn't want you to hear my gulps. All right, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, Dharma, Shambhala or Shambhala, looks the same. Also known as Shangri-La, is a city of light said to be hidden somewhere in the Himalayas near Tibet. According to theosophical teachings, this etheric retreat is where we can come into contact with some of the greatest spiritual adepts, enlightened teachers, and divine masters to ever walk the earth. In Buddhism and Hinduism, Shambhala is said to be the home of the god Shiva and Buddha's enlightened beings. And in the Bon tradition, every year thousands make a pilgrimage to Mount Kailash, the supposed location of the hidden city, as this is said to bring good fortune. We can visit this etheric retreat of Shambhala during the dream state, astral travel, and meditation. If you feel it is calling you, or or that where am I? Or that the energies of this gateway seem familiar, you may have been there before. The golden temple of Shambhala sits in the heart of the Himalayas between the physical and non-physical, and is said to appear to seekers who are ready to expand their awareness. It is this it is the sacred energetic temple of all enlightened masters, particularly those who are connected to the Eastern traditions. They form a great galactic and universal council of elders who support the turning of the wheel of Dharma, which reminds me of the wheel of fortune. Dharma is a Sanskrit word that relates to the unfolding of our life path. Connect with your hands in the prayer position. Imagine yourself surrounded by golden light. Say, great masters and elders of Shambhala, thank you for helping me remember my Dharma so that I can have an enlightened awareness of the worlds. Your message: when things quieten down in your life, know that this isn't a failure but an opportunity to retreat and recharge. In the busyness of the physical world, our spirit is often playing catch up with our body, to the point that it gets used to being overactive and overworked. When the great masters of Shambhala come to you, they are encouraging you to take time to be away from the outer world and dive into the inner world. If you have been moving full speed ahead, this gateway encourages you to slow down and retreat. Take time to gather your energy, spend time in meditation and reflection in order to gain a clearer awareness of your current situation. You will uncover many insights and gifts during this period. Realize that there is a master awakening within. Interesting, because this reminds me of the Four of Swords, which before my previous video that I did, the one that didn't have any audio, in the tarot, the Four of Swords did come out. And the Four of Swords is the minor arcana of the Hermit. And of course, that's, it's going within, it's meditation and slowing down and needing to rest. The year that we've just come out of it wasn't a very easy year. It was, it was very strenuous in all aspects, mentally and physically, and metaphysically too. So, and spiritually. So, it's a good time to get some rest while you can, um especially this month. I feel like this, with the year being the year of the fire horse, there's going to be momentum, and things are going to pick up and speed up pretty quickly. But January is a good time to rest and plant seeds and cultivate and, you know, plan with that Capricorn energy. Um, Plant those long-term seeds and decide what you want to create for the whole year. So January is a good time for that, to be in that four swords type energy, and hermit and slow down. All right. What? So that is our gateway to light activation. And then I guess I'll leave you with a work your light oracle and say goodbye. We're at 36 minutes. Not bad. Okay. All right. What can we leave the collective with as a final guidance? Thank you, Spirit. I've really slowed down too. And even though today I feel like I'm more productive when I slow down, like I was able to read and exercise and journal and record this video and clean. It was just a really relaxing but productive day. All right, 2 more shuffles. Is there anything in this deck for us? 1, 2. That was more than 2, but all right, I'll take what's on the top. All right, creating heaven on earth, Lemuria. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Here's the picture of it. Creating heaven on earth, that is what's happening. We are shifting. We are ascending. This one doesn't have numbers. Is it in alphabetical order? It's not. F. All right, I'm sorry. Let's see if it has a table of contents. Come on. Okay, here we go. Lemuria. Okay, here we go. So it's a transmission card. 114. 114, almost towards the very end. All right. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Lemuria or Mu is one of the earth's lost lands where heaven really was a place on earth. Ooh, baby. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Sorry. um, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In Lemuria, life worked in harmony. All beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. We knew that a mosquito was no worse than us, and the sun no better. Perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. Perhaps you are a part of the transition team who at a soul level are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. Thank you for wanting to do this work. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It is closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible, and while at times it may feel like you are all alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystals, which I have one, Lemuria crystals that hold the codes of remembering that are beginning to rise all over the planet. Keep doing what you are doing, and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves. Work your light transmission. Hold the card to your heart and say, without me being a microphone menace, and say, I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. And that is it. 1 second, and I'll show you my Lemurian seed crystal. Oh, heaven is a place on earth. Actually, I have one. I thought I had two, but I have one. This is what a Lemurian seed crystal looks like. You can't see the inside of it. It's kind of cloudy. It's a little different than a clear quartz, but it looks similar to a clear quartz other than it's a little cloudier. There you go. You've never seen one? Now you have. Lemurian seed crystal. All right, that's all I have for y'all. Keep on rising. Hope this video resonated. If it didn't, then check back for my future videos and maybe they will. All right, keep on rising.